Hi, my name is Benny Johnson. As some of you know, I've been struggling with addiction. However, I decided to change my life and went into recovery. I've started this podcast 90 Days Clean, and I want to take you along in my journey. What does lie ahead of me? Let me be frank, I do not know. Will I ever drink again? I do not know. This is how Stairway to Redemption was born. It is my search for answer in a real-time process of what is going to work for me. It is then my aspiration to help you figure out what's going to work for you. It is our journey together. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Stairway to Redemption. This is Benny Johnson. This week, I'm releasing a solo episode. I think this is a good time to release one after 5 amazing episodes published. The past month, I will take, I think that releasing every 5 episodes, a solo one is ideal to circle back on my state of mind, talk about a little bit about how things are going personally, and also how the direction I would like to take for the podcast and stuff. Thank you very much, guys, for showing your support for the podcast. In a month, we receive about 120 downloads, which is amazing. I cannot believe that 120 people, I guess, or listeners, over 5 downloads, 5 episodes. Sorry, that's a lot in a month. I just started too. It just shows that, people that have listened, to what people listen to what I have to say, I guess. Let's start with my state of the mind address. How do I feel now that today, today marks 127 days sober. A little bit over 4 months sober. It has its challenges. I have my good days, my bad days. Currently, I'm doing AA and outpatient. I started my steps in alcoholic in the AA program. I'm about step 4, which is I forgot what step 4. For those who just look it up. I'm not gonna try to guess what it is. The outpatient program, I've been stepped down from intensive outpatient, which is 5 days a week, 3 hours a session, to an hour a session 5 times a week. So I go to outpatient 5 times a week, still Monday to Friday, but just for an hour. It has its merits. Group therapy is good. I will recommend it. The other thing, speaking of therapy, that I would like to try after the episode about smart recovery is definitely smart bidding. I really I'm very intrigued by the approach on recovery. When you juxtapose AA and smart, it's easy to notice the dichotomy between the two approaches. One, first of all, for AA, you have to acknowledge that you're powerless toward, alcohol or your disease. Whereas the smart program, it gives, empowers you toward, to fight your disease or your addiction. Two different approach, but one common goal is to stop drinking, stop using. So, that's what the goal of this podcast was at the beginning, to look at different approach and give people different path, because God knows, a lot of people didn't find their way in AA. News about me. I'm going to be a speaker on Thanksgiving next Thursday at the inpatient facility I went to in the Hamptons. So I'm gonna be speaking about my life story. How did I fall into addiction and stuff. Speaking about that, am I gonna share it in on the podcasts? Maybe not. I don't know. It's not even easy right now to do a solo episode. I don't know how. I guess I would be better in a better setting if somebody else asked me questions and I had to answer. I feel like more at ease that way. So you'll probably be in somebody else's podcast. Speaking of other podcasts, I've been listening to a bunch of other recovery podcasts, and I would definitely like to share like some of the one I've been listening to with you guys. So like, you can see what they are doing, and also hear like different perspective for sure. The one that I've been listening to recently is a Sober Girls Guide podcast. With Jessica Jabud, I think. As her first name is Jessica. I'm gonna share all those links in the description for this episode. That podcast is basically more targeted toward women in recovery, but like there are a lot of similarities. The thing you can tools you can use regardless of your gender. Done with Debauchery with Keisha is another good one. Sober Guys Podcast. Sober Guys Podcast. The Un-toxicated Podcast is another one too. This one is more guided toward relationships between people who are like in recovery. If you are in recovery and the other person is not, the more relationship advice. What else? Those are the podcasts I have in mind. If I have more, I'm gonna add it definitely. When it comes to reading recommendation, I've been reading the Daily Stoic. If you follow us on social media, you will notice that I read every day a passage from the Daily Stoic. Basically, the way it works a little bit similarly to the 24-hour day book from the AA, but except this part is not AA, it's just Stoicism from different grandfathers or godfathers of Stoicism, like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, all those guys. So I read the passage every day. Follow us on social media, by the way, at Stairway to Redemption, on both on TikTok and Instagram. The other book for recovery that I'm reading right now is called Rewired by Erica Spiegelman. I'm gonna add also the description in it. It even has like a workbook too. It's a very good book. What else? Oh yeah, the future of the podcast. What I would like to take this podcast toward. I'm trying to see how I can build a community around it, especially with the World Cup coming up this weekend. I was wondering where could I watch the World Cup outside in a sober place besides, my house, because if you notice, any place that shows sport is definitely a restaurant or bar, alcohol is served. Like even tea houses or coffee shops don't have many TVs usually. They're not designed to watch sports. It would be great if we could have a space where like a kind of sport bar but with non-alcoholic drinks, like only non-alcoholic drinks. A kind of like sober sports space. And it doesn't have to be for soccer for the World Cup, but for any kind of events, basically, that's really televised, MMA fights, sports, basketball, even the Oscars, who knows, or the Grammys. Yeah, the Grammys have been announced. Yeah, so that would be great to have, trying to create an event to watch the Grammys with like some mocktails or something. I'm gonna think about that. If you guys have any idea, please share it. Hit me up. Let us know. What else? Oh yeah, just to go back to my state of mind, I wanted to talk about if you will listen to the first episode, I went to a concert by myself, to test to see where I was when it comes to if I was in addiction mindset or recovery mindset. I explain more in details in the episode what I did that. So yeah, I'm still like, I don't experience any cravings or like any, triggers. I don't feel like drinking, but I don't feel like also going to concert and those public events either. It's not like I didn't do it to see if I could like go every single time. Nevertheless, this weekend I'm going to my friend's daughter's first birthday. There's gonna be some drinking. I'm not stressed about it at all. He knows. He was, by the way, shout out to Neil. He was very contributing and essential to my recovery. Him and another friend, Tomo Misu. All you guys in my life. Speaking of Tomo, it's his birthday today. Thursday, November 17th. Happy birthday, Tomo. I love you guys, by the way. Thank you for, coming and reaching out and helping me getting my shit together. Speaking of shout out, I would like also to give big thanks to the D. She's my social media manager. She's the one that does those amazing graphics on social media. By the way, those people who are helping me right now, I'm not paying them at all. Everything is out pocket. Right now, I don't care about, all I want to do is to get my voice out there. I might later, at some point, try to set up some kind of donation system because, the servers for the website, for the podcast, and some of the tools I use are kind of expensive, and that would be great if I could have some help, but that's not like the priority right now. I think I can manage for now. If anyone who has a kind of talent or like idea and would like to join this venture, please let me know. Feel free to reach out. What else? Oh yeah, I'm a bit all over the place right now. Speaking of non-alcoholic drinks, I've tried recently something called Kava, Kava, which is kind of tea coming from a root, relaxing tea. I discovered this place on Long Island called Island Kava Tea House, a place designed for tea and coffee and basically non-alcoholic drinks, mocktails. They don't serve any alcohol. I got in touch with somebody there who throws who organize events that are just spiritual events, non-alcoholic events, and it's actually great to meet people that are not centered around bars or like outside of like drinking activities. So I'm gonna definitely circle and try to get an episode focus on non-alcoholic drinks. I don't know if I'm gonna get a company that sells some or like somebody who swears by them. I don't know how I'm gonna get there yet. Speaking of future episodes, I'm in the process of setting up an interview with the veteran. I wanted to do that for Veterans Day, but it didn't fall through on time. I think our veterans also are incredibly, touched and affected by addiction, and they need their voice out there. So that will be the future episodes. Also, I would like to get more an episode on, especially for women who are into recovery and who had to deal with abuse or raising a child. Those, because when I was inpatient, that was the case of so many other women. I would like also to give them their voice on this podcast. So those are the projects that I have in mind in the near future. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Sorry guys, it sounds a little bit disorganized, but I swear I'm gonna get this working a little bit more, and like the future solo episode will go smoother. Alright guys, so take care and see you next week. Bye.